Has Malcolm Turnball just done a Julia Gillard, announced a half-baked shambles of some deal on boat people that falls apart almost as soon as it's announced? Yesterday, the Prime Minister said he'd made a deal with the United States. Our boat people on Nauru and Manus Island were going to get first prize, citizenship of the US. They have won. I know, it's incredible. For some reason that Turnball won't actually explain, President Barack Obama has agreed to take in boat people that Australia has detained.
The agreement is with the United States. It is a one-off agreement. It will not be repeated. It is only available to those currently in the regional processing centres. It will not be available to any persons who seek to reach Australia in the future.
No, really? Does the Prime Minister seriously think that boat people won't conclude that this government is weak? That although it buckled this time, that it won't again? In fact, even Turnbull himself admitted that people smugglers would think they'd won and were back in business.
We anticipate that people smugglers will seek to use this agreement as a marketing opportunity to tempt vulnerable people onto these perilous sea journeys.
You betcha they will, Prime Minister. So why on earth did you take this risk? And why do it when this agreement could actually fall apart in the next couple of months? Consider, on January 20, the new President of the United States will be Donald Trump, who has promised to stop taking in exactly the kind of people that Turnbull says he will now send him.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
I'm putting the people on notice that are coming here from Syria as part of this mass migration, that if I win, they're going back.
So please explain, Prime Minister, will your deal to send Muslim boat people, including Syrians, to the United States be accepted by President Donald Trump? Now, Turnbull refuses to say. In fact, he didn't even dare tell Trump about this deal in their phone call last Thursday.
You don't discuss confidential matters with one administration with a future administration. Look, it's fairly straightforward.
But there are so many other questions about this deal that the government refuses to answer. How many of our 1,600 boat people will the US take? The government won't say.
Do you anticipate all 1,600 processed refugees will end up in America?
Well, friend, it's hard to say because we don't know what the US response will be to each of those cases.
And here are some other questions the government today refused to answer. How much will this deal cost us? What does America ask for in return? Will we now have to take so-called refugees stuck in Costa Rica, like the Prime Minister suggested at the UN 2 months ago? These are all very basic questions, but no answers. How very curious. So, what if this dodgy deal does lure over more boats? In fact, what if this deal simply falls over? Just like Julia Gillard's Malaysian people swap. Just like Julia Gillard's East Timor processing centre. Turnbull will be toast.